It's Friday morning and I'm in lovely Lancaster. Lovely Lancaster. I've been staying here a couple of days, just enjoying the scenery, the people. But it's time to travel on and I'm heading north. And I'm going to take a detour off my official guidebook for getting to John O'Groats. And I'm going to go for the Lakes District, which I've heard a lot about. And a lot of people recommend as a place I have to see. So I'm going to check out the Lakes District. We're going to a place called Kendal. It's only a short ride because I don't know if you can hear, I'm still not 100% healthy. I was hoping I would make a miraculous recovery over the last couple of days, but no, still have a chesty cough and a snuffly nose. So, but you know what the doctors say? Get on your bike, cycle, long distance cycle touring cures all problems. Got a little cat down here. This is Stan. He lives in the cupboard. How you doing, Stan? Good chat. See you later. So Stan just lives down there. We've got Oliver as well, but he's having a... I assume he's having a sleep upstairs, so we'll leave him alone. But yeah, no, it's been a good time in Lancaster. Enjoyed saw Morecambe Bay yesterday. There's a castle, of course. No, it's a cool area. I like to come back to Lancaster, I think. But yeah, for now, got Tango all loaded up and ready to go. Let's get cracking. I've heard that Lancaster has quite a complex system of one-way streets, so I avoid them and make my way straight to the canal. It's just wonderful out here. Easily one of the best canals I've cycled along so far. It's pleasant and peaceful. The pathway is smooth and well maintained, and the scenery is gorgeous. As I am sharing the path with other people, I keep to a reasonable speed and give them plenty of space. I cross a bridge over the River Lune, and you can see from the waves that it's a windy day. Fortunately, the canals are shielded from the gusts, so I can cycle calmly along. I get a little nervous passing under these bridges. What if another cyclist is coming the other way? I don't want to fall into the water. I try to make a lot of noise so people can hear me approaching. As the day starts warming up, I stop to take off my gloves and jumper. The layered approach is important when cycle touring. The total cycling distance is a bit shorter than previous days, just 45 kilometres, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have my coffee break. After 15 kilometres, I reach a small town called Carnforth, where I find the Café Edelweiss. I enjoy a delicious cheese scone and a coffee. I relax and then get ready for the next leg. I've left the canals behind, briefly following a busy road out of town before turning onto a quiet lane. There is a massive puddle and I have no choice but to cycle through, making it a lovely splash. The bridge over this river is quite narrow. Instead of pedaling, I propel myself forward by pushing my feet against the railings, which is surprisingly fun. I'm now following the Bay Cycleway to Kendal, a quiet road with farmland on one side and the Cumbrian coast on the other. I inhale the sea air and watch the reeds swaying in the breeze. So far the gradient has been rather mellow, but I am now approaching a couple of hills. When I get to the top, I take a short rest, watching a field of sheep happily grazing away. Undoubtedly, the best thing after climbing up a long hill is the cruise down the other side. It's much easier to admire the scenery when I don't have to worry about pedaling. I like these buildings made out of stone. The road now goes right along the water. But what is that car doing? Ah, the road is flooded over. The cars are turning around to find a detour. But a little bit of seawater isn't going to stop me and Tango. I can see that it's not too deep, judging by the railings in the distance. I take off my boots, roll up the legs of my trousers, and we start wading through the water. The deepest part just comes over my knees. I soon notice that I can actually walk along the footpath. Apparently it's been an exceptionally high tide, something that only happens a few times each year. The pannier bags I have on the bike are fully waterproof, so I'm not worried about my gear getting wet. Because it is seawater, I will have to wash the salt off to stop it from corroding. A few cars do make it across, making small waves as they move. Fortunately, the drivers give me plenty of time to get out of the way, so I don't get too splashed.
I make it to the other side. I dry my feet off and put my socks and shoes back on, and continue along the road with a big smile on my face. I'm not too far away from my second coffee break destination, a small town called Middlethorpe. I find an Italian man selling fresh homemade vegetable piadina sandwiches. I eat my lunch in the nearby park with a beautiful view. My trousers got a little damp from the sea walk, so I'm happy to have the sunshine. My path out of Middlethorpe takes me to a narrow country road, up and over a few hills. It's fairly quiet and I don't see any other cars, just sheep. I'm not in any rush, so I take my time, slowly climbing hills, getting over bridges and cruising down valleys. I've only got 15 kilometers to go before I get to Kendal. Parts of these hills can be very steep, but I just put Tango into the lowest gear and pedal away. It looks a bit silly, pedaling along but barely moving, but that's how it is when it comes to hills. As I said before, the best part about the hill is the cruise down the other side. I just have to worry about not going too quick. These hills are steep, the road's narrow, and I have to always be on the watch for any cars coming around the corner. I pass through a small village, and soon I am on the road into Kendal. It's a quiet afternoon, and I'm really enjoying the cycling trip so far. As I approach Kendal, the traffic starts to increase, but fortunately, there is a bicycle path I can take. I do love a good bicycle path. I finally arrive in Kendal, with its train stations, bustling streets lined with stone buildings and wooded hills in the background, a pedestrianised shopping area, and the River Kent cutting through the town. Fun fact, one of the bridges is known locally as Batman Bridge. I wonder why. I make it to my accommodation, get off my bike and check in. I'll catch you later.